Hello, Jennifer from Aster Anne with you again today, and we are going to be embellishing our card holder needle case kit. This little one comes in a little pack like that, and why I say card holder / needle case, it is where you can make it to be either product. You can leave it open like this one, where we have it so that you can use it as a needle case, but to have it as a card holder, you can stitch up the sides and then it becomes a little card holder or a purse. But today we're going to do it as a needle case, and we're going to create some little pockets on the inside where we can pop a little pair of scissors. And I've devised this little way of being able to keep some bobbins on here. So that's what we're going to have a go at doing today. So there's our main body piece here. And it has the pre-punched eyelets or grommets already punched in there for our little finger strap. It comes with some pockets which you can stitch in, and also our little leather tab closure and some needles and some instructions. And that's all the things that we have in there. So the first thing that we need to do is to cut out, we need 9 of these hearts. So we cut out 9 hearts from a piece of wool. I am just using a pencil just to trace around my heart shape. And we will cut those out. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is to prepare these little hearts. And I've just done a little lazy daisy stitch here to create these flowers. So we're just free-forming those, and I'm using a razzle thread. Razzle is a variegated rayon thread, which is, it's one of my favorites. It's got this lovely shine and luster to it, and it has a really nice color change to it. With razzle, it is, as I said, the rayon thread, so you really don't want to use long pieces, and we only need to have a small amount to do each flower, so we'll just do a little bit. So all we're doing is we pop the needle in, there, we wrap the thread around the needle, pull it through, oops, and then we take the thread back down and come up back into the center. You can just shape your little petals, and then we go again. So we're back into the center, thread around the needle, pull it gently through and back, and we come back into the center. You can see already we've got some variegations happening in the thread. So simple stitches, but we're making the thread shine here. And cut that away. So that's one little daisy flower. We need some green because we'll create some little stems. And now with these, I like to just make them, as I said before, a little random, just free form as we go. I'm doing a back stitch here to create a stem. Put those there. And we'll pop a little chain in part of the way down to give the little leaf effect. And that's it there. We'll tie that off. So there, we just need to repeat that for all of our, and no, we need to repeat it for 7 on the inside because we will do something different with the hearts. Okay, so I finished doing all of the flower embellishments on the hearts. I haven't yet done the center that I've got here with the sequin. We'll do that last, but I've got these ready to go here. And I've just pinned them on where they need to be. So with the front, I've got one heart right down here at the front center there. And because when our little needle case folds up, it's going to fold up and look like that. So that's going to be the front, and that's what the back is going to look like. So if they look a little random, that's why. And we'll be popping these little circles on as well. I'm going to do a little bit of prep on the circles now, so I'll show you what I've done there. As before, like how we've done the little chain daisies, we're really just doing that, and we're stitching the smaller circle onto the larger circle. So same process, but we're taking over our two pieces of, holding our second piece, the smaller circle, down. So one, yep. For this one, I like to do the opposites. Then I know I'm going to have 4 areas covered. Or all four done. Okay. And back in, and we'll just tie that off. But that's one little 4-leaf clover kind of done. Okay, so I've done all my little, as I want to call them, little 4-leaf clovers. I've got them all made, and I've just roughly placed it how I'm going to be doing it. Okay, so we're just going to stitch on, or start with stitching on our front heart here. And I'm going to use the pink razzle for this one. And we'll get that stitched on. I'll leave a little bit of a tail, but we are going to line this one, but you know, I'll just have it, so a little tail. And you can see roughly where I've got these placed out, where we'll be stitching those on. Remove those little babies, my little lucky 4-leafers, and we will stitch this on. So blanket stitch all the way. It's my fave. If you wanted to, you could actually couch this down as well first, but I don't tend to. That's me, personal thing. But I will do a reasonably close little blanket stitch thing here, and we're holding it on nicely. You just see the variegation that's just starting to come through. As before, I'm sure I've mentioned many times before that we're not going all the way through to the other side. We're just going part of the way through. And I'll show you there, so we don't have anything showing. And just tuck under the start and back into the other side. So there's our first little heart done. Next is we'll pop in a couple of these, and we keep doing the rest. Right, I've been working my way here, just doing a few more little circles on, and I wanted to show you as well, I've done just some outline stitching around the outside of these hearts so far. You can see this gorgeous shiny thread is really standing out nicely. So just doing a little bit of a back stitchy thing going on here. Really just wanting to highlight around the hearts, and I have gone already around a couple of the hearts, so you can see I've already got some of it filled in. So I'm not going to go all the way around this one. I'm just going to pick up where it divides apart here. And we'll just do that. Same as before, just going part of the way through the felt, and reasonable size stitch because we actually really want this thread to stand out, and all the way around. So it really is, the felt is lovely to work with because it's really flexible, pliable, and I love the fact that we can just go part of the way through. It does mean that when you are stitching it that you are maybe using your needle on a slightly different angle that perhaps you're used to, but you get the feel, you get the hang of it, and it comes together easy. So we get to that point there, and I'm just going to go straight across, and then I'll come back in here to form the V part of my heart. Let's just do some extra special little bits of embellishment. We're going to pop in some sequins just in the center of our flowers. So just going to require a little bit of thread, as we're going to use this thread to become like our seed bead. I like to do sequins, and when we do a little knot on them, that holds them on without having to use a seed bead. So I'm going to come up into the middle of my flower, all the way there, pop on my little sequin, and now I'm just going to do 2, maybe 3, 4 little wraparounds, and we'll go back down, pull your thread a little bit, not too tight because we still want to be able to get the eye of the needle through, and pull it down, and that's going to hold the sequin on, which I think looks really cute. Okay, so I have got all of my embellishing finished on that side. Now I'm just going to do a little bit on the inside pockets. So same process as before. I am doing a blanket stitch, a mustard colour circle on. I'm going to use the yellow for that. A little cross there. There we go. Yeah, done. Okay, that's one side, one pocket done. Then I'll just show you how I like to create a little bobbin holder. I usually take a little piece of elastic. So long, I think it is about 10 centimeters. I stitch it down, and then we pop a button over the top, and that becomes our little holder. Okay, I have just the 2 pieces of elastic close together. And coming up. Just going to hold the 2 together. But then I'm going to come up again and actually go through the elastic. And down again. And do the same again, just to really hold it on or hold it together. And while I have my thread here, I'm going to stitch on a button. lining the holes of the button up over the top of that elastic there. So we're going to go through a few times, really want that to be secure. Bury that in. I've still got some other things to bury, and then with this one, I haven't got a little bobbin here, but a little bobbin, it then becomes a little holder, and we can pop some pins, needles, etc. just in there. Clever, huh? So we've got one more to do, and then we can stitch it all together. And our next steps, well, I'll just show you, got everything all finished. The front and back is all finished. My pockets are all finished. A couple of other little things still to do before we start our assembly. And one of those is just to mark where, or to stitch on actually, the underside of our closure. I'm just going to mark here that that's where, I'll pin that, that's where I want that side to be. So I want that to be at the end there. And when we're making up our card holder needle case, I like to bring the top of the body up to close to where the eyelets are, and then we fold in half where the eyelets go, and we can see then here that that's where we need to be stitching on the underside of our closure. So I'm going to take that up and we'll sew that on before we do anything else. Okay, and now the reason why we're doing this part first is because when we put our lining on, we don't want to be stitching through the lining. This is a thread that's called Home Deck, which is a multi-filament thread and means it is super strong. Great for actually sewing leather and vinyls and things together with. So there is the bottom part of our closure done, and so that's looking fine. I'm not stitching that one on yet because I'd actually really like to just stitch on a little bit of this rickrack trim. So I'm using the green razzle again, and I'm starting at this point, so I'm taking that away, and we are going to just loop across each of the little ricks or the racks. I don't actually know where the name Rick Rack came from, but we're just going to go across each one just like that and hold it down. So super simple, but it's just giving us a nice little finish there, and having the thread go across just gives it some extra interest as well. When we come to this other corner here, just going to do that. So just going to fold it over. That's one of the good things about the rickrack trim, is that it's the same either side. So just going to fold around that corner. And then we will continue on. Okay, so I have got my rickrack trim all stitched down. Now normally I would stitch this in place, but I really do want to stitch through my lining, so I'm going to leave that to the end. And so I'm just going to trim up this fabric, so this will be our lining. And can trim it up a little. And kind of allow, I guess, about a centimetre, 12 mil or so to turn under. And now I'm going to just pop this over here. So my pockets, I have created 2 pockets and I want to stitch them on a little differently to each other. This one I'm going to stitch the 3 sides and that will be my pocket that way. And this other one I'm going to stitch that way so that I can create a pocket to pop in a pair of scissors. Again, I'll just double check and that's there. So yes, I will stitch those into place there. So just pin. So you can do this by hand if you like. I'm going to do it by machine. It's your personal preference. Okay, so now we're just going to stitch our pockets on. I'm just using Deco Bob thread. I'm not going to make a feature of the stitching around the pockets. So we'll just stitch them on. Just doing a narrow seam here. And hold that out of the way. And now I'm doing the other one because we're doing this one for scissors. Now again, you could do this by hand if you wanted to, but I'm opting to do it by machine for the sake of time, but obviously a hand stitch, whip stitched under would be kind of nice. I'm going to start at the point here, and you can see, yep, all nicely tucked under. And we'll start right there. I'm using Deco Bob again, as I don't really want the thread to be shown or to be seen. So we're going with Deco Bob. And I am aware that I am stitching through the rickrack on the other side as well. So double reason why I just want to use the Deco Bob, so it will just blend through. Just gonna hold that. And look at that, so all of that stitching looks fine. And double duty, we've actually stitched down the rickrack a bit more, but that looks good. Alright, so here we are, looking pretty good. Last little bit to do is to stitch on our closure. As I said earlier, I would normally have stitched this on before, but given that we were hand stitching in our lining, I've opted to do it last. So I am going to take my thread up from the top here because I really don't want to have anything too much showing through the other side if I can at all help it. So let's see how we go. Just popping that on. I am still using my razzle thread, so I'm going to make a little bit of a feature here. So going to just do a couple of little crosses and planning on just doing it from the top if I can. So we'll see how we go. Okay, I'm going to go there. And on the diagonal back over to that side, and now I'm going to come across to this other side over here. pulling. Now I do want to pull that taut, so that's holding that down. And now I'm going to knot and pull that tight and bury my thread. So pull it back through and cut it off there. Okay, we made it. So that's our closure stitched on. So one of the little features that we have made with this little holder, a needle case, is we can pop a bobbin. So it's a handy little accessory to take with you off to classes. We'll pop a bobbin in there and pop another one in here. And the other piece of elastic I have is for our pair of scissors that we're just popping in the side there, and working on the same principle. The elastic will just hold them in, just push them in, and that is it. So I have offset the bobbins, so that, and also I've got the scissors that way, so that when we close it, it's not super bulky. Before we do that, we can pop some pins in here. We can pop some needles. You can pop some other accessories in there, whatever you like. And our little finger strap again. So I used to, and you'll notice on the packaging that I have in the past taken the lining and folded it away from the lining, from the eyelets, but now I leave it there. I cover them over, and then when I pop that on, voila, that works. So let's close it up, our little needle case. There we go. Super cute, huh? So before I go, I'll just show you, this has been done all by machine, so you can do it certainly all by machine as well. Same thing there. And as well, it's called a card holder / needle case. That is that if you stitch up the sides like I have on this one, and by stitching up the sides I have made it into a little card holder. So lots of different things that you can do with it. As I like to say, our kits are designed by us but made by you, so you put your own personal spin on them. And if you want to see some more inspiration, ideas and things, you can go to the website www.asterandanne.com.au. You can also find us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and of course the YouTube. So check out some more of our videos, and if you have liked this, then please like and subscribe so you can get notified when our next one is available. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and happy embellishing.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more great tips, tricks, and tutorials. You can also sign up for our weekly newsletter to get the first look at free projects, sewing tips, and inspiring tutorials delivered right to your inbox. Check out the description box below to sign up, as well as find a list of stores and retailers that you can purchase WonderFil threads from in your country.